A new type of motor has no magnets or even copper coils. The rotor is made entirely out of plastic and is churned by a very strange material that is both a liquid and a solid at the same time. This cutting-edge material combines the properties of pneumatic liquid crystals and ferroelectric materials, so it's able to be programmable in an electric field. And even though it has not built a revolutionary robot, it is starting to be utilized in motors. A liquid crystal is able to change its polarization very quickly, so you can manipulate it with an electric field. Another thing that it can do too is that it can flow, so it can grab the rotor and churn it, and that's why the rotor can be made of different materials. Now, to understand this a little bit better, we have to look at how an electrostatic machine works and why it's different from your typical magnetic motor. Now, this type of motor works on the Coulomb force, or the attraction and repulsion of electric charges to generate motion. It's the same principle as rubbing a balloon on your hair and letting it stick, or just grabbing a doorknob after you rub your feet on the carpet. So it's utilizing the difference of positive and negative charges. A motor's doing the same thing, except you don't want it to spark over and equalize. The stator's field is constantly changing, and you want the rotor to be constantly drawn to this changing electric field. Now, at a small scale, this is a great motor because there are no magnetics involved, and you don't have as much outside interference that can change the motor's property. And that's why this motor is utilized in a lot of consumer products, even MEMS devices. In fact, you could be utilizing an electrostatic motor in your phone for its accelerometer or even gyroscope. The challenge with an electrostatic motor is scaling it up. You see, as you increase the size of the motor, you need higher and higher voltages, even thousands of volts. And as you get into these extreme voltages, you don't want it to spark over and equalize. And air's not really good as an insulator in these high voltages, because it has a relatively low breakdown field strength and low permittivity. So this is why companies like C-Motive have come up with high-performance dielectric fluids that go in between the rotor and stator. Yet, it can insulate it from sparking over. This axial flux motor is built out of pancake discs, and the rotor plates are charged with alternating positive and negative voltages. With three-phase AC, you can rotate the electric field on the stator, and this spins the rotor. It's basically a mirror image of a permanent magnet motor, where the rotor is chasing the field. So one of the main advantages of an electrostatic motor is that it's good at low-end torque. So it might be good for HVAC, pumps, even robotics. But some of the biggest variants are only 3 horsepower at 2000 watts. So you can kind of get an idea of how many volts you need just to produce useful work. Now, in an electric vehicle, it could replace a gearbox if you want lower speeds. It's also light as well. But when you get into high speed, like over 1000 RPM, the dielectric fluid becomes counterintuitive because you're increasing the amount of friction that's in the system, and you also need that higher voltage. Now, so far we have built electrostatic motors that work on a linear electrostatic force between positive or negative electric charges. But what is really the groundbreaking thing that has happened is that we discovered a transverse force in a special type of material called a liquid crystal. This material replaces the dielectric fluid and acts as a secondary rotor. Discovered by the University of Tokyo, it has opened up a lot of different possibilities in motors. What's really strange is that this liquid crystal material is able to produce a transverse force, or 90 degree. So it's able to push this sideways motion almost, and it was found that this is exponentially stronger electrostatic force than the linear one that was used for many electrostatic motors. It is truly bizarre, but it is also game-changing because now we can build a machine that is far more powerful than previous designs. The reason why these crystals work is because the molecules behave like tiny rods floating in a liquid. They can naturally align parallel to each other, but they're not locked in place like a solid crystal. They're basically a mixture of organic compounds, and they are created in a certain way where they can perform these properties. So this is why you get the order, but you also get the mobility of the molecules. So this is quite the revolution, because now these ferroelectric motors can operate at voltages basically 1000 times less than a conventional electrostatic motor, so maybe 60 volts instead of several thousand volts. But one thing to keep in mind is that this liquid crystal is not behaving like a superfluid or anything like that. So there is resistance to how it's flowing, and there would be a maximum limitation on how fast the rotor can spin. So there's kind of a balance between maximizing alignment and having intermolecular mobility. But it wasn't really that long ago when this amazing property of a liquid crystal was discovered. And now we have AI tools to make different mixtures which would have less viscosity. When it comes to robotics, this also could be a big revolution as well, because they can work at far less voltage and almost instantaneously react to the electric field. This would mean that you would have robotic limbs that can react at speeds comparable to or faster than a biological muscle. A recent study found that mixing liquid crystals with rubbery elastomers makes them 9 times stronger, so these muscles can lift up to 2,000 times their own weight. In conclusion, a ferroelectric liquid crystal motor is far more powerful than a conventional electrostatic motor. But when it comes to electric vehicles, there still are some barriers because the material itself is a limitation to how fast the motor can actually spin. But the sky really is the limit to this type of design because new materials could also be discovered. More importantly, I'd like to know what you think, so please leave a comment, like the video if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe to my channel.